all the people who claim it's not about Tory. Rocnation is intentionally harassing, bullying, trying to take down many young. Listen, they're not me. Again, I don't got money to bang with Rocnation. I don't want to go to war with them. I told y'all that already. I'll apologize to JC. I'm good. I know how to pick my battles. That's why I'm undefeated in my odds because I don't take losing battles. Rocnation is out here deleting people's pages, bullying, doing a lot of things that in hip-hop, you know, all those people who hate me, they would normally call out, but not one of them are calling those people out.
Straight. Look, you already know what it is. Safari here. I'm locked in, and yo, check it out. Right now, you are watching You Just Got Juiced. Look, these are the reactions, and if you ain't subscribed yet, then what the hell on God's green earth are you waiting for? All right? I'm watching it. I want to see some reactions. So it's all about You Just Got Juiced reactions. Make sure you logged in, checked in, subscribed in, watch it, and, you know, make sure it's everything proper, lock up, plastic, and proper, and straight out, and not them mama, soba, crotches. Straight!
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy You Just Got Juice, and we are back at it again for another live reaction video. If this is your first time here at the channel, let me say thank you for checking me out and helping this small channel grow. A couple of weeks ago I did a story on Megan Thee Stallion, how Rocnation was trying to pretty much help her out to bury Tory Lanez, and how again, these are all allegations, but pretty much how they just lied on Tory Lanez just to save Megan Thee Stallion. And if you haven't seen that video, I will leave the link somewhere around this part right here in the video. So apparently Rocnation is back in the news, and I was wondering where they was at, because I know this Tory Lanez case has been kind of quiet for the past couple of weeks, but I'm for getting this man out of jail, and again, I'm also for exposing all the dark things, and I feel so all dark things must come to the light. And if Rocnation has been doing this stuff and has been getting away for this stuff for years, and I got the power to exploit it, then damn it, why not? So without further ado, let's get started with today's video.
Looks like it's every day now the cruelty of Rocnation keeps getting exposed. We done uncovered another lawsuit that nobody is talking about. The lawsuit is centered around the turmoil of Michelle Shore, who we believe was a personal assistant for Megan Thee Stallion. They don't explicitly say Megan Thee Stallion, however, the timeline, the dates, the facts, it all lines up with this was Megan Thee Stallion's personal assistant. Michelle is suing Rocnation for what I can describe as inhumane, cutthroat treatment, man. You don't treat employees like this. You don't treat animals like this. The lawsuit filed by Michelle Shore is actually against Rocnation, not Megan Thee Stallion. Rocnation directly, because Rocnation was her employer. So February 26, 2024 is when she applied for the job. Now, the title of the role was High Profile Artist Personal Assistant, LA-based position. March 13, she accepted an offer to be the personal assistant to one of defendant's main celebrity clients, who we believe is Megan Thee Stallion. Now, the salary was $130,000, and it was a signed employment agreement with Rocnation Management. Throughout her employment, the wage statements listed Rocnation as her employer, not Megan Thee Stallion, Rocnation. So March 18th, 5 days after being hired, this is when she began to realize, yeah, they on some janky stuff over here. Because she was approached by a woman named Nikita Thompson, who warned her that she might notice her colleagues being terminated, and advised her not to ask any questions or acknowledge knowing the terminated employees. Michelle Shore is like, bruh, this must be an indication of Rocnation's patterns of terminating employees for reasons not aligned with their business interests, rather lawful or not. That was her first sign of they on some janky stuff over here. However, is not.
But why would they come up to her and tell her to don't pay it no attention when she's new to the company? So she wouldn't even know what was going on or even care to know what was going on. Like, that's just weird.
Not my business. I'm not going to ask any questions. From the surface, $130,000 to be a personal assistant sounds amazing. It sounds great.
I don't think that sounds amazing, because you got to realize you with this person all day, all night. It's not like you working like your 8 hours a day. You probably working more than that. So you probably, yeah. I mean, it makes. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Because again, I'm almost at, let me see. Yeah, I'm almost at 6 figures. And yeah, I think I work, a good 8 hours a day. And, I still get to do what the hell I want to do. But to be somebody's personal assistant, then you got to travel. I mean, I get it. I don't know, bro. I'm just thinking about a grown ass person. Maybe if you was in your 20s or something, then maybe. But still, is it worth it? I don't know. I guess it all depends on the person.
Until you look at the requirements and until they tell you the hours you're going to be working, once you see the demands, you start to do the calculation and realize that the per hour rate is equivalent to being a child slave in Africa somewhere, bruh. All right? Mining minerals. Those were the hourly rates they had her working based on how many hours she was asked to work. I'll give them their credit. They did at least try to warn her, all right, the best they could for the demanding hours, okay? But take a look at this, okay? So March 28th, 2024, during a meeting at Defendants Los Angeles headquarters to discuss the celebrity's upcoming international music concert tour, the celebrity emphasized the tour's critical nature, stating, "This is a make or break tour for her. There will be no partying, no effing around. This is work." Can you imagine Megan Thee Stallion coming into a meeting and telling professionals, no effing around, no partying? So the plaintiff interpreted this as an expectation to work unreasonable hours, being on call at all times with duties extending from before the celebrity woke up until after they went to bed. So this is not just a regular 9 to 5. Your entire life is catered around this person. So if this person is waking up, let's say at 5 a.m. and they need, I don't know, a breakfast at 5:30, you got to be up at 5:30 a.m. too. If they go to bed at 10 p.m., but like they still require you do things past 10 p.m., then you got to go to bed at 1 a.m. and wake up at 5. That's just how it works. Right. So between May 8th of 2024 to July 3rd of 2024, during the tour, Michelle worked approximately 57 days without a single day off, working a minimum of 16 hours per day with an average of 5 hours of sleep per night. Call me Americanized, bruh, but nah, that's cruelty. Nah, that is torture, homie. That's not even cool. You're trying to kill.
Like, what? What? I think that's to be expected as an assistant, but that's why I said earlier, like, is it worth it though, bro?
Kill somebody. Ask 16 hours a day, 57 days straight, no breaks whatsoever, 5 hours of sleep. And it's 16 hours minimum. Meaning, there's some days where, she had to work 18, 19, 20 hours on call 24/7. This is not cool. You're trying to kill somebody. And you would think for a job that demanding, they will at least be somewhat accommodating, right? But no. Of course, Rocnation conduct, if this is true, violated the California Labor Code Section 551, which mandates a day of rest. I'll be real, I don't even think this conduct is allowed in North Korea. And we know how they get down. I feel like this conduct will get you sanctioned in North Korea, and that's saying a lot. Scheduled days off did not apply to plaintiff. So Megan Thee Stallion was in that meeting allegedly, all right, screaming, no days off, no partying, no work. Whole time she's taking days off. But you don't got no days off. You still got to work on things for her. As she was required to handle events like photo shoots or personal activities for the celebrity. During the tour, the defendants and the celebrity assigned plaintiff unfeasible tasks, such as simultaneously flying the celebrity's French bulldog to New York City for a photo shoot and packing/moving the celebrity's belongings from Beverly Hills to Miami. These unreasonable expectations caused plaintiff severe emotional and physical harm. I'll be real. Now, flying the French bulldog, I guess that's something you could probably expect from like a personal assistant. But is moving the defendant's belongings from houses, is that what a personal assistant do? Like, shouldn't you hire a mover for that? Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. She gets a lot of flack. Now, if Megan Thee Stallion is the celebrity, moving forward, this is all based on if she's the celebrity. But she was pretty understanding. Like, when Michelle couldn't do certain things or stood up for herself and said, no, this is not part of my job duty, bro. All right. No, this is not cool. No, bro. Like, I have to sleep more than 4 hours a day. No, I need a day off. Apparently, Megan Thee Stallion was understanding to this. However, Desiree Perez kept on asking Megan Thee Stallion, should we fire her? Should we get rid of her? Just created a hostile work environment. Volatile. This person is coming to work every day on edge, not knowing if today is going to be their last day. During the tour, when Michelle was unable to perform contradictory and extensive tasks, rather due to the emotional trauma.
How is this Desiree Perez present in everything, every video dealing with Rocnation? Like, who? Why? Like this name is just, it's just irritating me now. That's all you hear. You hear this name more than you hear anybody else's name dealing with Rocnation.
Or the physical harm that she was enduring by not sleeping. Desiree Perez allegedly asked Megan, or the alleged celebrity, if Michelle, or if they should terminate Michelle. Although Michelle was not terminated at this point, she became aware of the volatility of her employment, increasing her fear of job loss if she did not comply with certain demands. So things that she shouldn't have been doing, things that she should have said, no, I'm not doing this, she just began to do it because they was openly threatening her job. Now, the extreme working condition led to Michelle developing a physical disability. These people worked this woman so hard, they almost worked her to her death. Specifically, impaired vision due to sleep deprivation. Like manifesting as seen spots in her eyesight, Michelle feared that the lack of rest was causing severe physical harm. Now, what happens when you get injured at the job or you get injured based on your job duties? You get to at least take some time off to heal and recoup, right? No, not here. All right, because Michelle emailed Rocnation head of human resources, Marissa Valero, and Desiree Perez, stating she did not feel safe due to the harsh working conditions and she requested to go home for a day. She requested a day, 1 day, 1 day of rest. And she also informed Desiree Perez in person that her vision was impaired due to lack of sleep, seeing spots when blinking. Desiree Perez granted the request, and Michelle was sent home.
That's crazy.
Now, Michelle received a missed call and an email from Valero as soon as she got home, followed by a 2-minute phone conversation in which Valero informed Michelle that she was being released from her position because she left tour. Plaintiff Michelle alleged that this termination was abrupt and came days after she raised concerns about her safety and well-being to human resources and senior management. That's cold-blooded, man. She was emailing human resources saying, hey, yo, I need some rest. Please, can I get some rest? They finally had the meeting with her, right? After days of her emailing, they granted her 1 day off. So you know what? Yo, go home, take a break for 1 day. And when she went home for that 1 day and left tour, after they approved her request to leave tour for one day. When she got home, they called her and fired her on the spot. That's cruel, bro. That's some nasty work, homie. That's nasty work, bro. Somebody worked for 57 days straight, no breaks at all.
Man.
For anyone to work for 16 hours a day, 57 days straight, that shows you are at least a dedicated employee. You at least are somebody who's a hard worker. And if you got to take a day off because you're burnt out or you have a physical disability for performing your job duty, to me, that's the least I can do for you, bro. If you're somebody who's willing to work 57 days straight without complaining, that's the least I can do for you. Take the day off. But a day off was too much for these people, bro. They want you to essentially work yourself to an early grave. They won't be satisfied until you yourself. Let's get into the basis of the lawsuits. Now, we covered the general allegations. Rocnation engaged in torturous acts, allowing or condoning a pattern of unlawful practices that cause plaintiff economic damages, emotional pain, humiliation, mental anguish, loss of enjoyment of life, and emotional distress.
Like, this is crazy, bro. And like, but it's to be expected, because this is what I think about when I hear assistance in the black community, like as far as like in Hollywood and stuff like that. 16 hours a day, and then God forbid they was even drinking and doing drugs.
All right, disability discrimination to me is a big one. She got physically disabled while performing your daily duties, and she got fired for it. That's a lawsuit. Plaintiff alleged that her impaired vision of physical disability was a substantial motivating reason for Rocnation adverse employment actions, including her termination, which materially affected the terms and conditions of her employment. Now, she also suing for retaliation under FEHA. Plaintiff alleged that her opposition to defendant's discriminatory practices in violation of California Labor Code section was a motivating reason for defendant's Rocnation adverse employment actions, including her termination. Retaliation under California Labor Code. Plaintiff alleged that Rocnation retaliated against her for complaining about unlawful activities, including disability discrimination and requesting a reasonable accommodation, as well as violations of California Labor Code section 551. Her opposition to these illegal actions was a motivating reason for her termination. A lot of these lawsuits just keep getting uncovered, and I'll be real, there's one person at the center of a lot of this stuff.
The Perez.
And it's not Jay-Z, right? We don't see Jay-Z at the center. At least Jay-Z's name isn't really mentioned because Jay-Z ain't really handling the day-to-day operation. But Desiree Perez is named in a lot of these Rocnation lawsuits, if not all. And what we see is she's at the core of this, bro. She's just not a good person if these allegations are true. She's just not a good person. And I feel like that right there is the root of a lot of the issues. It's, just being a decent human being would have solved this, yo. Damn.
I'm trying to figure out, like, who is this person and where did she come from? Because I'm not familiar with her, but I keep hearing her name, and I know she's been around since the 90s. But, like, what's her deal? And why can't she be touched? Why is people afraid of her? It don't make sense to let this one woman terrorize the industry like this. From Tory Lanez to putting her own daughter in the institute because the daughter was separate from her husband, to this, it's just too much, bro. And this is when I'm waiting for her. I think this is the case or the story. I think when this one cracks, oh man, I think that Diddy stuff will out now. Wait till Rocnation finally get exposed in court and stuff like that, to where these details start coming out and they actually start sticking with evidence. Anyway, how do y'all feel about this? Leave your comments down below. It's your boy, You Just Got Juice, and I'll catch you guys next time. And don't forget, you got the juice now, and we are out. Beep, 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 beep.